Hello, my spooky darlings, and welcome to Streams and Screams, the online show thing in which I watch a film that is currently streaming online that I liked and I tell you about it. It's October. Happy spooky season. Time to fill your life with horror movies. Zoe agrees. Today, I am going to be going back to Shudder. It's been a while since we've been there to discuss a film, and this one is a new release. It is brand spanking new, fresh off the presses, and I thoroughly enjoyed this one. If you like your horror to have a atmospheric terror to it, then this is the film for you, I think. So I am today talking about Daddy's Head, which is curiously named, but excellently executed. It is the second feature film from writer-director Benjamin Barfoot. I'm not really familiar with Barfoot's other work, but this, I think, is a very strong feature, so I would be curious to see what comes next, what came before. Let's figure it out. So this film is from the UK. I absolutely love Irish horror, English horror. I think it really has a great way of capturing the isolation that you can feel sometimes and how isolating certain events can be. They are very skilled at that. So kudos to the UK for bringing that trauma along to everybody. So in Daddy's Head, it follows a young boy named Isaac and his stepmother, Laura, very shortly after the unfortunate and traumatic and sudden death of Isaac's father, Laura's husband. And now the two of them are just sort of stuck together in a very uncomfortable situation that neither of them wants to be in. So I can empathize 100% because I, as a childless monster myself, were I to be in a sudden situation where I am responsible for a young life that I just was kind of thrust into, I would not know how to handle that either. So yeah. In the film, Isaac starts to see a presence that very closely resembles his father and speaks to him, calls out to him. But what's really going on there? Spooky shit, obviously. It's a horror movie. The main performances in this film by Julia Brown as Laura and young Rupert Turnball as Isaac are absolutely fantastic. Julia Brown really tore my heart up a little bit because she's so out of her depth. She's not wanting to be in this situation, and it's a very awkward, very difficult situation to be in, let alone having, the loss of your partner, your dearly beloved loved one. They've only been married for, it doesn't give a number exactly, but a brief period of time. So this is very fresh and new and a loving relationship, and to have it suddenly torn away from you, that's awful and traumatic. And now there is a child that is caught in the crosshairs of that. The horror of Daddy's Head is spectacular. There's a wonderful, and I know I'm a sucker for this in any movie, but there's a wonderful dog in this film named Bella. She does her job incredibly well. She is on the lookout. She is on the move. She is just doing everything she possibly can to protect her owner and this young child. And shout out to Bella in this film because she really does a great job, played by a dog named Delta. So congratulations, Delta. You did it. Good boy or girl. Delta's kind of a vague name. Good dog. The creature or monster or entity of Daddy's Head is extraordinarily sinister. I love the sort of changeling element that comes into play with this, and there's something about the scenes that you really see the face that make it so uncomfortable and so thrilling and chilling, and I thought that they did a wonderful job with crafting the scares of this film. If you are someone that likes atmospheric horror, if you are someone that likes creepy creature horror, this kind of scratches both of those itches at the same time, which I greatly appreciate. The beauty and the tragedy of Daddy's Head is how Laura and Isaac are brought together and how their lives have dramatically changed, and what that means for them. I know that seems like a very vague and somewhat obvious statement, but when you think about it, for someone that has gone through a dramatic change in her life, Laura having this new relationship with James, Isaac's father, what this means for her. It's a new, fresh start. It's a new chance at a better life than kind of what it's alluded to that she's experienced in the past. And the way that it's ripped away, and what's left is this seed, and you don't know what it's going to grow into, if it's going to be something that could be a beautiful, wonderful, well-rooted, well-adjusted tree, or whether it's going to be a complete disaster. You never really know what direction it's going to go in until really the final moments of the film, which really ties it together in a beautiful way. I absolutely adore sort of supernatural creature features. The thing that I like about Daddy's Head as well is that there is a very physical presence in this film. It's not spectral. It's not floating from room to room, appearing in a very ghostly fashion. It is physical. It is a real threat. It is a terrifying development for this family. I was really pleasantly surprised by this film. I hadn't heard much about it. Didn't watch a trailer because I don't. And I'm really glad that I kind of went in blind with this because this film has a really great soul to it. It's very mournful and sad. There's something too in horror that I adore when characters are just not really believed. You don't know what's going on with them mentally. Everyone else doesn't know what's going on with them mentally, if there's some sort of influence from any kind of substance perhaps, or any kind of deep-rooted trauma that's influencing the ideas and actions of a character. So I do really appreciate that this film kind of has both of those between Isaac and Laura. They each are experiencing this thing, but approaching it from very, very different mentalities, approaching it from very different ideas of what this could be. Normally you just see one side of that, where you would just get Isaac's side of experiencing this entity coming to him and speaking with him and trying to lure him. But it's not just Isaac, it's also Laura's experience with this as well, and how this affects her, especially with her sordid past, shall we say. It's very heavily implied it's sordid past. So there's that. As I mentioned, Daddy's Head is available now on Shudder. I would recommend you watch it. You can find the trailer somewhere along the bottom here. We will post the trailer below in one of these hands. There will be a trailer at some point in this video. But if I were to do a double feature with this film, I think it would pair really nicely with The Babadook. Obviously, it's very similar ideas, very similar structure of a woman and a child experiencing a tragic loss together, but from a very different perspective and their relationship. But also kind of not really, because in The Babadook, that kid is the absolute worst. It's magnificent birth control. I'm not gonna lie to you. So you can watch Daddy's Head on Shudder. You can watch the trailer somewhere around here. And I hope you enjoy. Let us know what you thought in the comments. Bye.